Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Phil and Ryan, listen up. And Rye, I hope it's as beautiful in Yukon right now, just as it is back home here in Frederick City. Because as I drove through on this beautiful Saturday, October 4th, downtown Frederick, people lining the streets everywhere, Rye. They're walking downtown, shopping, cars driving by. And I thought, I'm going to ask Rye if he can pull up some live camera footage of downtown Yukon and see if it's as beautiful up there as it is in Frederick. It's Phil and Ryan on Listen Up. Thank you, KK. And Ryan, this episode, I appreciate you joining me on this October 4th, as we're going to dive into a big topic that I think is getting overlooked a little bit. We'll see what you had to say about it. We talked about leadership with Paige gone, but now we're going to dive into it even more. And thanks to Maggie Venoti from CT Insider, she brought out this great article, Rye, and you loved it. I think we all love it after this, if you haven't heard from it yet. Ashlynn Shade, KK Arnold, ready to become upper class leaders for UConn women's basketball. So, Rye, they've played a lot of different roles with this UConn team so far, Shade and Arnold, that is. And the only question is now, we keep talking about FUD. Let's take some pressure off FUD. I feel like I've put too much pressure on her, right, over these last couple episodes. Let's talk about who else. I thought it was interesting because if I believe, I actually saw or read where Gino came out. I believe he said something about the leadership role with Paige gone. It's not really, we don't have just one specific player yet who, tends to voice up in practice and stuff. But he says, let's just see, let's take it and let's see how it goes over time. But I think that not only the leadership, but how about Shade and Arnold, Rye? Those are two names that I think are really getting overlooked. If you want to ask me, to be honest, they need to step up, and to be honest, I think they will. Watch out.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, KK and Ashlyn are one of the two of the most important players on the roster, and as soon as they stepped foot in stores 2 years ago, they've been two of the most important players that we have. Of course, they were Arnold and Shade were both kind of thrusted into that starting lineup on that depleted UConn roster all the way back in 2023 now. They were a huge reason why UConn made it to the Final Four that year. And last season, they both came off the bench because UConn was finally able to stay healthy for a majority of the year. But whether they're in the starting five or coming off the bench, both of them find ways to help the team win no matter what, including last year where they played crucial roles in helping the Huskies win the championship. But as they both now enter their junior seasons, they find themselves, in my opinion, in a more prominent role in terms of
Mm.
the leadership on this team. And of course, KK is expected to be UConn's starting point guard. We talked about that a little bit the last couple of weeks here. She's going to be bringing the ball up the court a lot more, calling the plays, and kind of just being the main facilitator for this team. And of course, we know KK is capable of handling those duties, but it will certainly be a big adjustment given that she's expected to do it every single game now. Of course, Arnold said throughout this all season, she's worked on being more aggressive and asking Gino for advice, whatever he can help her with as she enters her third year at UConn. And for Ashlyn Shade, she's also expected to be in that starting five, assuming she recovers from this hamstring injury she's had over the past couple of weeks or couple of months now. But Shade has always been a reliable scorer. She can shoot from anywhere on the court. But she can also disrupt plays on defense, just like KK does. But both KK and Ashlyn will be two of the loudest voices that UConn has this year because of their experience. And they both understand the importance of being a leader, using their experience to help out their teammates. And like you mentioned, I know I'm really excited to watch both of them play this year and grow into better players on the court, leaders on and off the court. So it'll definitely be exciting to watch them step into that role and grow over the course of this whole entire season.
Yeah, and if you ask me, Rod, just think about Shade, Ashton Shade, the big games at UConn, included the 24 Final Four and the 25 when she was in the championship, where she was a key starter and later earned awards like the Big East Freshman of the Year and Big East. It says Big East Sixth Player of the Year. And then, of course, you go over to KK Arnold, Rye, who was a starting guard in their 25 national championship season. And she just talks about she's got to have to step in for Paige, where she played a significant role, KK Arnold, that is, in the team's success. But Shade, with her 3-point shooting ability that I've seen so far, oh boy. But both of these players, KK Arnold, Ashlynn Shade, drop your comments in the section below. We can't wait to hear. I think these two are very, again, not by us at least, but I think these names are flying under the radar just a little bit. I don't like it. I know you don't. I think KK Arnold and Ashlynn Shade, two of the best coming up in the country this season, this season and beyond. Rye, let's go over to comments, your favorite part of the show. I know you have a message for our beautiful subscribers. I don't think you're aware because usually you send me a text in the morning, you're like, oh, Phil, they're coming through again. But I never received one from you this morning or yesterday. The count is up to 3.16 thousand subs, Rye. So I know you have a message for them before you break down the first comment. So you want to tell them now, and then we have a comment waiting in the mailbag from Jason D'Amico.
Yeah, that's very good. Of course, we appreciate all you guys still coming through during the off season as we're getting a lot closer now to that first exhibition matchup. But don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. We try to read all the comments that we can. And yeah, we definitely appreciate the support on these last couple of videos.
Let's go. Thank you, Jason. The beautiful aspect of sports, he says, Rye, is that most of the time leaders rise up by what they do in between the lines, not what they say in the locker rooms or to the press. Like a massive lightning bolt, the void left by Paige's absence is large, and the air will be filled on the court with Huskies who are going to go the extra mile to prove their worth. The thunderclap created will be huge, and I'm here for it. Who will emerge? Looks at KK and raises eyebrow. Peace. And look at this. The comments, we promise we hardly ever read them. Well, we kind of do and kind of don't, but we didn't this time. I don't know if you did. Sometimes these comments, right? Beautiful people. They align so well. They're reading our minds right before we go on camera.
Yeah, it's a very good point by Jason. It's going to be difficult, of course, to fill the role that Paige Bueckers had and what she did for this team for all 4 years that she was able to play. But like we sort of mentioned in the last video, I think there's going to be a plethora of different voices and leaders on this team, and not just, KK and Ashlynn. I think are going to be two very big players and voices as they step into those leadership roles. But I think it's also going to be AZ Fudd, Caroline Ducharme, maybe even Sarah Strong as well, kind of for her leading the forwards and centers and helping them out as some of them are returning, like Ayanna Patterson this season, and some of the newcomers as well. So I think it's going to be a lot of different players helping each other out. And of course, we already know how good this team is each and every season with the chemistry that they share with each other.
Richard Bueller. Hi, guys. Back again for another season with college basketball's best. I'm looking forward to this season very much to watch the progress of this team, of this great team, right? Important, great team. If they live up to their potential, they will be another unbeatable UConn dynasty. I can't wait. I don't want to make any predictions of the players because it's like they're starting fresh. I like that take, right? That's, what? I never thought about it. I like to bring you stuff to the table all the time. Think about that, Rod. You lose one of the best players in program history, right? In Bueckers. It's like you're kind of starting fresh. It's like, this is going too far, but it's like, have I ever played basketball before?
Well, I think AZ kind of mentioned it in one of those interviews. I don't remember if it was the open practice the other week or this most recent one, but I think AZ kind of mentioned this team. It seems like the team has a fresh start because there's so many different players and new faces coming in this year. But she said the team still has the same goal, of course, and that's winning the championship again. But I think that this team this year kind of does have a fresh start. And I don't really think they feel any pressure to kind of defend the title. I think it's just going out there, working hard each and every day now at practice, as that's officially open now, practicing almost every single day. Very hard, getting ready for these two exhibition games. But I don't think this team feels any pressure or any need to really try to defend their title. I think it's just going out there every day at practice, every single game, and just playing the best they can as a team. And I think we're going to see that all season long.
All right, one more, Rye. Let's go over to Just Me. Thank you, Just Me. He said, "Hi, Phil and Rye. Thanks for another update. We are getting close to another UConn season. Fingers are crossed for another successful year. While UConn seems to have a loaded roster, I don't see how Jana, and KK won't be starters to begin the season, right? There's another video coming, right? One of our favorites, one of their favorites, the starting lineup video. But let's go back into the comment. I think they earned it. He's talking about Jana and KK. Ashlynn should see lots of playing time as the sixth woman, maybe sometimes a starter."
Yeah, that's kind of the role that she played last year, is kind of the sixth woman off of the bench, and it was very deservingly earned that award as the sixth player of the year. But I think that's most likely what's going to happen with Ashlyn Shea. But I think she could very well be in that starting lineup for the first game. Like I mentioned, if she does recover from that hamstring injury, but I think we'll certainly learn a lot more about the starting five from these two exhibition games. But I think, it might be difficult as well because we know Gino really likes to switch all these lineups around and tries to find the best fit for all these players, which starting five that he likes the most. And obviously, that's the one that he'll go with for the opening night game.
All right, right. We'll leave it right there. And a fresh start isn't a new place, right? It's not a new place. It's a new mindset. And Rye, the air is crisp. The leaves are changing, like I told you for the 20th time, right? And and it is getting, we can feel it, right? We can feel it in the air. A fresh start. Nothing like a fresh start in UConn, but coming off of a championship, nothing like a fresh start on Listen Up. And I'll say it again, Rye. It's Phil and Rye. And like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate you all. We love you all a lot. And Rye, I will see you later next week. It's Phil and Rye on
Listen up.